Alert: Congress gets bad news about their favorite freebie. As Congress fails to come together on issues that need to be resolved to the benefit of the American people, many are looking to put members of Congress in the same boat as everyone else. According to an article on Judicial Watch's website, the watchdog organization is looking to eliminate the free health care Congress is afforded. They're asking Trump to put Congress on the same failing health care system as everyone else. Newsmax reported on a Gallup poll that reveals 79% of Americans believe Congress is out of touch with the issues facing average Americans. 52% went on to say the politicians were corrupt, and 69% believed the reason they were out of touch was due to hyper-focusing on special interests. After the resignation of House Speaker John Boehner, poll makers concluded that his resignation confirmed the suspicions of those polled. If this is true, it could confirm some of Americans' worst impressions of Congress, as it would suggest that simple legislative functions, such as funding the federal government, are enough to thrust the House into leadership turmoil, the poll makers deduced. It would seem Judicial Watch agrees with the assessment that Congress is out of touch and corrupt, considering their article stating that members of Congress were living on free health care at the expense of taxpayers. Citing a loophole granting them an Obamacare exemption, those in Congress honestly have no idea what Americans are facing when they have to grapple with a failing Obamacare. This is due to the fact that they, themselves, aren't obligated to meet the requirements or even pay for it out of their own pockets. According to Newsweek, as Obamacare was being rolled out in 2013, the Office of Personnel Management decided the costs for health care for members of Congress, their families, and their employees could be subsidized by the federal government. As a result, they were not required to enroll in the Obamacare markets, did not have to meet the mandated requirements, and are not subject to the same insurance premium hikes. This would explain why to this day members of Congress have failed to come together on health care reform. They don't think anything's wrong. In their eyes, they have the plans they want, the coverage they need, and they don't have to pay for it. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton declares that the congressional exemption and the use of taxpayer dollars to pay for their health care constitutes fraud. Congress, through fraud, is violating Obamacare to get taxpayers to pay for its health insurance, Fitton said. If the Trump administration required Congress to follow the law, taxpayers would be saving money, pure and simple. We hope the Trump administration will end this clear violation of law by Congress. Considering their continual inability to come together on the repeal of Obamacare, it's entirely likely Trump will place them under the same burdens of Obamacare as the rest of the country faces. In fact, Trump made that threat in July on Twitter: if a new health care bill is not approved quickly, bailouts for insurance companies and bailouts for members of Congress will end very soon. The director of the Office of Management and Budget said Trump's threat is entirely justified. What he's saying is, look, if Obamacare is hurting people, and it is, then why shouldn't it hurt insurance companies, and, more importantly, perhaps, for this discussion, members of Congress? He asked. There is a certain benefit that members of Congress get as part of an OPM decision from a couple of years ago, and I think the president is simply looking at this and going, is this far? It is highly suspicious that many of the Democrats in Congress who went on and on about how great Obamacare was would find a way to make themselves exempt from it. Regardless, putting members of Congress in the same health care mess as the average American would quickly help them realize the problem and put a fire under them to fix it. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.